the rendering tutorial. So far we just got 1 point light, so you could do 2 lights, kind of a 2 point lighting system, but right now we're just doing one, keeping it very, very simple for your first project. What we want to do now is go into our perspective. I think our rendering may have been happening in the wrong place, we may have to create a camera. So one of the things we want to do is put the film gate on there. So one of the things that you can do is hit film gate, and that will kind of show you uh, where the camera is. So that this is the film gate. So you noticed earlier I just said that it was not in the right camera. Well, it was. I just didn't see the full range of that film gate. All right. So one of the things I want to do is just I think automatically down here we have 1 through 120. So I just want to grab my Dunny. We hit E. I'm just going to rotate it just a little bit. And down here, we're going to hit S. And I think we've done this in a class where we just kind of keyframed it down here to 120. And we're going to go over here, hit S. So if I rewind and I hit play, you'll notice our Dunny is kind of spinning around. And we kind of want to do that. We're not going to do a full turntable because we didn't really put a lot of energy in the back of the Dunny. And I'm just going to kind of work on the placement of my Dunny. It's kind of in the center. And we're going to try to render 120 frames, okay? If you only get 20 or 30, that's fine. I don't really, it's not a big deal. So what we're going to do now is close that. We're going to go up here to the display render settings right here. All right, render settings, you'll see it right here. So we're doing Arnold. All right, so we're going to go to common, and we're going to go here, and we're going to do either a JPEG or a PNG. I'm just going to go ahead and do PNG. All right, I'm going to call this A_test. You can use your own name. And we're going to do perspective. If you make a new camera, this is where you would change it to camera 1 or camera 2 or whatever you named it. So we have HD. I might go ahead and do 1024. So that's just regular, just almost, it's not even HD, it's a very low, almost half HD. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we want to do a sequence of these. So we have image format. And we go down here, scene assembly. Let's go through here. Let's go through our settings really quickly. And basically what we're trying to do is do rendering like 1 through 50 or so forth. So what we want to do is we want to go down here, name, dot, name, and extension. All right, so that will have your name, the number, and then dot JPEG. So we have down here, once we have started that, you'll see we have 1 through 10. So that's fine. I'm going to go through 1 through 20. Hopefully it renders pretty quickly, and then I'll show you the results. So you could do 1 through 120 if you have time. That may end up being an hour or 2 hours, but again, I'm just doing 20 for the tutorial. All right, so we have it set for 1 through 20. We've put our naming convention. It's on Arnold renderer. So now we're going to do a batch render. So we're going to go up to the rendering, which is in the rendering queue right here. Make sure you're on rendering. Go to render, and we're going to do a batch render. You can open up the dialog. I don't think there's much to do in the dialog, but we're just going to go ahead and hit batch render. All right. So you may be asking yourself, well, what is going on? Well, there is a great little image down here. It actually shows you what's going on. So it's actually rendering number 1. You can see we just finished the first one. So it's going by percentage, 20, 30, 60, 70, 80. Boom, another one. And you can see over to the right, we have image sequence number 3. All right, so this is going to go pretty quickly. We should probably see where it's being dumped. You can see it should be going to your Maya file and so forth. So let's go ahead and look where that is. While that is rendering in the background, I'm going to go ahead, open up a file, maybe go to Documents, And a lot of imagery here. We're going to go into Maya, project, default, and we're going to go to our images. All right, so here we are. Here is our A_test. I'm going to go ahead and double click it. And there we go. We got our first image in there. All right, so one of the things we also want to look up is F check. All right, I'm sorry it's loud in here. I've got a 3D printer in the background. So we're going to look for the word F check. And this should be in your downloads. It's basically a way for us to kind of compile these images into a sequence. So maybe it doesn't give it to you anymore. Let's check that again. F check. All right, so I may have to show that on another video. It looks like Maya doesn't use that anymore. So anyways, let's go back to our file, documents, Maya, and projects. And we're going to go ahead and go to our images. All right, so it looks like it's all done, 1 through 20. So I'm going to select them all. I think the last one's almost done here. And so if we select them all, we can open with preview. Also, there should be a sequencer. I will have to find that really quickly to show you guys where that is. So if we open this up and we just tab through, I'm just going down so they can start to see Dunny starting to spin around. All right, so worst case scenario, you can put this into After Effects, put a sequence, and put them together. But hopefully before class, I'll show you the F check that I'm trying to find. I think it's buried in our files here. All right, so this is what I want you guys all to have by the end of Sunday night. Hopefully by midnight, you can get the churn in. If it's just 20 frames, that's great. But if you do 120 frames, just a little bit of a churning of Dunny, that would be fantastic. All right, good luck.